All right, today's video is going to be cool because I'm going to walk you through how to buy real world assets like a car, or in my case, some real estate with your crypto by using DeFi tools. Now, this is not a case of selling your crypto to buy an asset. This is a case of what DeFi tools you can use to leverage your crypto without taking a tax hit by selling it. In fact, I'm gonna walk you through a real estate deal that I'm personally doing and how I'm going to use crypto to fund it. Now, if you're watching this is not illegal or a new concept. This is something that the very wealthy have been doing for years. If we take Larry Ellison as an example, he is reported to be the most indebted man in the world. He has something like a $20 billion line of credit for personal things like cars, mansions, islands, everything. He has a $20 billion credit limit. Now, in life, we are often taught that debt is bad, especially if you listen to people like Dave Ramsey. And a lot of debt is bad, like credit card debt is terrible because you're paying a high APR. However, when you study the wealthiest people in the world, you will see that they also use strategic debt to both preserve and generate more wealth for themselves. Other famous people that you might know that believe in the strategic debt, Mark Zuckerberg, he has a $3 billion line of credit. Bill Gates has a $1 billion line of credit. Now, why would some of the richest people in the world be borrowing money on credit when they have a lot of money? It's a tax perk. Here's the thing, wealthy people don't need or don't want to sell assets to be able to buy things. They can get low interest loans on things like their stock portfolio or their assets, and this allows them to purchase more assets without ever paying capital gains by selling an asset they already have. It's like getting a home equity line of credit on your house. So you can take money out of your house without selling it, without ever paying tax on that money, and then you can put it into another asset. So today, let's talk about how we can use the same tax strategy to buy real world assets with your crypto portfolio. And now for this example, I'm going to be using just Ethereum as the example, the blue chip coin that I'm going to use to borrow against. Now, the great part about this is that you can buy real estate or another asset without ever selling your crypto. So you're getting the upside of the crypto, but you're also able to diversify into other assets. Now, another great thing that is not offered in the real world is you can often earn yield on your crypto as you're borrowing against it. So in some of the strategies I'm going to walk you through, you'll have a negative interest rate, meaning that you're essentially borrowing money for free to buy an asset, which hopefully will appreciate or you'll be making cash flow off of. All right, let me show you how I'm doing. I'll walk you through my deal. All right, let me take you back to BC, before COVID, early 2020, I decided to get my first investment property in Austin. Now, it was a pre-construction buy, so I was supposed to close on it like Q3 of 2021. Now it's gonna be Q3 of 2022 due to supply issues and COVID and everything else. But I'm not really too bothered because there's been 18 months of appreciation. So by the time I close on it, I'm predicting the value will have gone up like 50% because Austin is insane. Now, because it's an investment property, I need to put at least 20% down to be able to close on it. And here's what those numbers look like. Now, I'm planning to take my crypto, get a DeFi loan against it, and put down the remaining 15% to pay, the down payment and closing costs. Now, by borrowing against my crypto, I can avoid capital gains because I'm not selling anything. I can earn yield on my crypto and possibly even pay a negative interest rate, which means I'm borrowing money for free. And I can still earn upside on my crypto. So if things moon and rocket and all the other things, I'm still getting the upside because I didn't sell it to buy this real estate property. Now, could it also go down? Yes, but we're going to be optimistic in this example. Now, if you stumble on this video and don't know anything about decentralized finance or DeFi or tools or anything what I'm talking about, I've included a few links below this video, which are an article I wrote, Intro to DeFi, and then I also have a full course called Zero to DeFi, teaching you how to go from zero to being able to do the stuff I'm going to talk about in this video. Now, before we get started, I'm going to actually walk you through like 5 or 6 different options you can use for this. There is not one size fits all. It depends on your risk tolerance. It depends on how much yield you want to be making. There's definitely different levels of risk to each thing that I'm going to mention, and I'll walk you through each one and why it's more risky than the other. But let's jump in. Okay, so let me walk you through a super basic spreadsheet. So the purchase price of the investment property I'm getting is $415. I already paid a deposit back in early 2020 of 5%. The down payment at closing, because it is an investment property, needs to be at least 20%. So let's just say the remaining 15% is $62,250. Now I will be getting a mortgage on this, just like standard mortgage. The last time I got a mortgage, it was around 3%. The rates have gone up, so I'm just guesstimating like 3.75. Guessing that according to like other similar properties in this area, I could rent it out for 3.2K a month, so I'm cash flowing like 1.2K. Now I did buy this or lock in the price in January 2020, so by the time I close in it, which is going to be like October, November 2022, like the prices in Austin have just gone insane. So I actually think I could refinance this within 6 months or a year and get a price point of like 600,000 and be able to take all my money out of it. So that's probably what I'm going to do, but I'm going to walk you through how I'm going to get this 62,000 out of crypto without selling any crypto and with the best yield possible. So let's jump into option 1, which is the easiest, lowest risk, lowest reward option, which is taking my Ethereum. So I'm going to say I'm starting with 60 ETH. I'm saying that the current value is 2,800. So that's 168,000. I'm depositing the ETH into Aave. And the APY currently, so if we go into, just go to aave.com, open it for the Ethereum market, and this just means it's on the Ethereum chain. You can see there's a bunch of other options. Now if we go in here, you'll see that I can deposit my Ethereum and I'll make 0.36 in ETH and then 0.11 in Aave governance tokens. And to borrow USDC coin, it's going to cost me 2.86 paid out in USDC, and I'll make 1.41 in Aave governance tokens. So this is like a bonus for using them that they're paying. So I'm essentially paying 1.45% to borrow USDC. So if we put it into our spreadsheet here, you're seeing that I'm making 0.5%, but I'm spending 1.5% to be able to borrow. So all in all, I'm borrowing for 1%. I'm going to pay this much in interest in a year. Now this seems low, but this is because I have a lot more value in there than I'm actually borrowing. I'm currently borrowing at 37.5% of my loan to value ratio. So let's just say that Ethereum dropped to 1,500. That would be 70% of my loan to value ratio. And I believe on Aave, you can borrow up to 83%, but you'll be liquidated if it goes to 85%. So, you don't want to go too risky, just because you want to be able to sleep in this nice new house of yours. So let's just say it's 2,800, and you would want to keep an eye on this. Of course, like the more you can put in there and keep this low, and just keep an eye on the volatility, because if this is high, it's going to be stressful because you don't want to get liquidated if the market turns. All right, so that's the first option. Let's look at option 2. So option 2 is taking your Ethereum and staking it in Lido for staked Ethereum. So if we jump into Lido, you'll see that you can stake your Ethereum here and you can make 3.8% on it. And Lido is basically a liquid staking solution where you're giving them your Ethereum to stake and then they're giving you one staked ETH back, which is important because you can take the staked ETH and put it somewhere and borrow against it. So if we go into Aave again, and we click on here, you can see that I can deposit my staked ETH. The max LTV on this is 70%, liquidation 75%, and there's a penalty if you are liquidated, but essentially I could put my ST ETH in here and then borrow USDC against it. So I'm making 3.8% in Lido. I'm depositing it, but I'm not actually making anything in Aave on that. And then I'm borrowing against it, which we're just going to say this is the same borrowing cost because it's the same. Minus 2.86 plus 1.41 is still minus 1.45. And I'm borrowing 63K, borrow it in USDC, send it to Coinbase, and then be able to transfer it to my bank account. So all in all, interest-wise, I'm still making over, almost 5.5K in interest from staking this Ethereum and Lido. and then I'm still positive 1.35% in borrowing this money because I haven't had to sell my Ethereum. I'm staking it, I'm making money on it, and then I'm borrowing USDC on Aave, sending it to my bank account, and essentially borrowing this for a negative yield. So I'm in the positive even though I've borrowed 63,000. All right, let's jump into another option that you can do. Take your Ethereum, stake it in Lido for staked ETH, just like we did in the last option. Then you'll take this staked ETH and deposit it into Curve. So if we go into Curve, you can find the pool. So just go into pools. You can see here that staked ETH is right here. Essentially, you're just depositing it in here, and then you're taking the LP token, so you're not staking in Gouge, you're just depositing it, and then from there you'll take it into Yearn Finance. So if you go into vaults, and there is an ST ETH in here, right here. So this is going to make 4.96% on this. So you'll take your LP tokens, you'll put it into here, and then from there you will go into Abracadabra Money, you will go into Borrow tab and go to Yearn Curve Staked ETH. And then from there you put your essentially liquidity pool tokens, so what you get from Curve, which happens when you deposit. You can borrow MIM against it, so the maximum LTV, so you can borrow up to 75% of the value you have in there. If you get liquidated, it's going to cost you this, and then the borrow and interest fee is 1%. So if we come in here, then we are borrowing for 1%, we're making 3.8 on staked ETH, and we are making almost 5% in Yearn by using Curve. So all in all, we're making 7.76% APY. We're going to make 16.4K if we take the interest of everything currently. Now, if the price of Ethereum goes down, obviously that will all go down. So let's just say it dropped to 1,500. Then your LTV is now 70%, and on this, it's 75% is the maximum you can have, so you want to be careful with that. You don't want to go too crazy just in case the market changes. But of course, the market could go up like it has been. So when Ethereum 2 comes out, is that going to raise the price, and then everything in your portfolio will be worth more? So what was a 37.5% is now 26.25, and you're making more interest on it. So let's just for now to say that Ethereum is 2,800. This is what this looks like. Now, again, you're going to be using several different options. Just like I talked about, there's different layers of risk. There's, 1, 2, 3, 4 layers of risk here. You're talking about using the staked ETH, Curve, then Yearn, and then Abracadabra on top of that. So it's not like this yield is for nothing. There is additional risk for doing that. So it's up to you if that's what you want to do. But this is how you essentially don't sell any Ethereum, extract 63,000, buy a real estate, buy an investment property, and then still earn 7.76% on this money, which means that you're in a negative yield state, and you're making 7.76%, which is awesome. Okay, so the last option is Mai Finance, which is essentially a protocol that allows you to extract value from your assets without selling them. So it's a protocol that's doing what I'm showing you in this video. So you can put a bunch of different assets in there, Solana, Avax, Polygon, but in our case, we're going to be putting ETH in there. So if we go into vaults, on the Polygon network. So if we go into vaults on the Polygon network, you can see here that if I put my Ethereum in here, you have to keep a debt ratio of between 155 and 400% to earn Q tokens. So right now these are 1.33. This APR will change depending on the price of the token. I'll do another video on how that all works later, but essentially you're getting 12.7% on your ETH paid out in this token. So if we come into our spreadsheet and we're getting 12.7% and we're able to borrow Mai against our ETH, then we could make like 21K profit. And again, this is when ETH is priced at 2,800. We can borrow 62,000 against our ETH for no APR, and then we can swap Mai for USDC, and then we can transfer it to a bank account. Now, if you want to swap your Mai for USDC coin, you can just come into Polygon Curve, switch out this Mai token for USDC, then you would just be sending it to your Coinbase account or whatever off-ramp you use, and then put it into your bank account, and that's how you get the real estate for 0% interest and still make 12.7%. Now, is this going to stay 12.7%? We don't know. I've seen it up from 20% to 16%, so just keep an eye on it. And of course, like, you're not going to be able to take out your ETH until the Mai is paid back, but you can kind of see where the opportunities are going. This is probably not where I would put all of my Ethereum to buy this real estate, but I might put a little bit and spread my risk across a couple of different protocols so I can take advantage of getting this 12.7 without putting all my Ethereum in one basket. Okay, I hope you find this helpful. If you have another way that you would do a crypto loan to be able to buy a real world asset, please let me know in the comments below. I'm always looking for more options. Like I said, I'm not going to close on my real estate until Q3, so I have some time to figure out what scenario works best for me. All right, I'll see you soon.